Hi, this is David Lovering from the Pixies. The Current is listener-supported, and listeners like you can make all the difference. Support public radio and become a member today at thecurrent.org.
What's up? I'm Ayisha Jaffer, weekday host here on The Current, and I'm hanging out with Charles and Joe of the Pixies. Thank you so much for sharing this space and time with us today at The Current, ahead of your sold-out show at Surly. We're so happy to have you here.
Thanks for inviting us.
And how are you doing? I just want to start with that.
How are you today, Joe?
Pretty good. Now that you told us it was sold out, I'm better. I'm better.
Did you just say it was sold out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's always good. I mean, well, and actually, so this is something I kind of want to talk about. Like, you guys are, in my mind, road warriors. You've always been touring. You have 70 shows on the docket right now. You've been doing this for a long time, and you've been doing it so long that maybe you're near like a Guinness World Record in it. And I used to be a tour manager. I know not everyone can do this. So I'm wondering, like, with so many shows and so many more like on the way, what sort of drives you to keep hitting the stages at this rate?
I don't know. But we do enjoy. We do enjoy it in general. I don't suppose our experience of it has changed all that much, although it's probably been simplified over the years, right? Probably less partying, more edification, more napping, more trying to push your energy towards the show so you can do a good job, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want to do a bad job. We don't like doing a bad show,
Right. No one likes that.
We do care.
Yeah.
So in general, I think that but we're like real. We're not really like we're real people, and we're not we're not a virtuoso jazz band or something like that. So we're real, and so we're not perfect. And so we can have an off show, you know what I mean? And that does happen, and we don't mind that happens. Or sometimes just a song will be not the greatest rendition. That's what happened tonight, But we do a lot of songs in a show, and we don't really stop to talk to the audience or anything, and we just play as many songs as we can in the time that is allotted to us. And we hope that we mix it up enough with our ancient repertoire, with our more current repertoire, so that it's interesting for everybody, including us. And then, but everyone, we hope it gets their money's worth. And that's it's real simple. We play, we enjoy the playing. Feel free to interrupt me anytime.
Yeah, it's part of life.
Sorry.
Is what it sounds like to me, which is really great to have that. But it's, not everyone's built that way. So I think that's incredibly admirable. So I wanted to ask about it. I mean, the other thing in the show trend era, something new, something welcome that seems to be happening is these residencies. And you did residencies like residencies on tour. So residency in London earlier this year, it sounded like you did. Did that feel any different? Did that feel something like?
I would say actually not, only because we have a history of doing that, maybe not for the same reasons. Years ago, we wouldn't have done, for example, a legacy. We wouldn't have been so presumptuous to do a legacy LP show, right, when the LP was not even 20 years old.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But when the band did... for example, we went on a hiatus for a long time. I guess we were broken up officially, but when we got back together and we started to perform, we found that some of our fans, and as our advisors told us, some of our fans in some cities, like London in particular, but also places like Chicago and San Francisco, certain cities, our customers preferred to go see us at a quote unquote more intimate venue. They weren't intimate to us. They're still 5,000 capacity theaters, but they were, I don't know, they were more punk rock or something. There was something about that was more casual, right? Maybe the seats were ripped out or something, whatever. There's some kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Right. They're not some big corporate kind of, 20,000 tickets or whatever. We could do the 20,000 tickets, but our fans would rather go see us in a more rock and roll kind of environment. And so we've done a lot of these residencies over the years at the right time or whatever. Not every year, but
right. Well, you sort of touched on something I wanted to talk about. You had this hiatus 20 years ago. You reunited, and the first show back was here in Minneapolis at the Fine Line. Do you remember that? And you remember anything from that time?
Oh, there was a line around the block. People had their ears to the building, trying to listen in. So I'm told. I wasn't outside.
Right.
My brothers told me about this, and they came to the show. So
That would have been sneaky, though, if you were outside.
it's good his brothers came to the show because one of them, Bob, is quite an accomplished guitar player as well. And I had forgot, one of our bigger numbers, I suppose. I just have a very simple little kind of lick to play. It's one of the few songs where I'm not just playing a bunch of bar chords. So I'm kind of going, ding, ding, ding. There's this little kind of groove that I play on little fiddly bit, and I'd forgotten how to play the fiddly bit. And even though I could hear the notes, it doesn't matter where I played it on the guitar, it sounded wrong because I didn't find the right intonation, the right voice, the right spot on the neck. And so Bob Santiago corrected me. He said, "Come here, Charles," and he showed me how to play my song for the big reunion show, and then it saved the day, at least for that song. Dang, there I was, dang, dang, playing what I was supposed to at the right moment.
Wow,
so it was
that's
nice.
really cool.
you heard that mistake through the building.
That's incredible. Do you remember, just because, you were in Minnesota, so I have to ask the question, was there a reason that you remember that Minnesota was chosen as the first show to reunite the city, or if there's any sort of kinship between you and the Twin Cities?
I don't know.
I think the whole plan was to hide up north in Canada. And
We're on
you
our
guys
way
are
to
pretty
Canada.
damn close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. If that
No, that's fine. It's okay. I'm all for honest, open answers here.
It was the warm up to our warm up. It was,
Yeah.
but it was announced though. I suppose it was announced, so it wasn't a secret or anything.
Well, so you have new music out now. After 2 years, there's a double A side, Que Sera Sera, and You're So Impatient. We're thrashing You're So Impatient on the air. We love that song. And Que Sera Sera is like a classic. So I'm wondering why this classic was chosen to be reinterpreted. What was it about this particular song?
It was for a TV series called From that wanted a theme song, a redo of Que Sera Sera.
Oh, it's
in a horror
requested.
Angle. That's the way I understood it. And I think that's
Achieved.
right.
So the horror theme seems to be a theme too. The new album, this is ahead of the new album, The Night the Zombies Came, which I know has been in the catalog in the past. There's been darker folk tales, things like that. What's the jumping point, or was there a jumping point or catalyst for the theme on this new album of like horror and sci-fi, or did it sort of just happen organically?
Well, probably the thing that Joey referenced was something that we were approached about. We did that way well before the record, was this kind of horror show. It wasn't zombies, but they were kind of flesh-eating or something. I can't remember now, but it was a scary show, And then when we made the record, we weren't thinking about the Que Sera Sera number being on there. But as it turned out, I think I noticed in a couple of the scratch lyrics, early draft of lyrics, there might have been like using the word zombie just as a cultural reference, not zombie songs
Right.
per se, but using that kind of language. Even in the song Impatient, sort of referencing a little bit of a certain kind of movie culture, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Late night movie, right?
Cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to listening to it. Now, Tom Dalgety, you referenced him as well. He's someone you've worked with as a producer since 2016's Head Carrier, and he's been named, I think David named him the fifth Pixie. What is it about him that earned that title and keeps you coming back to Tom?
We don't mind his company.
That's good.
He doesn't seem to mind our company. His ideas seem to be good, even if you were to quote unquote disagree with something. I can never knock his ideas as being ridiculous, right? So even if I'm thinking something different, it's like, I see what he's saying. I don't know. There's a lot of, I don't know. He's mellow. He's quiet in the studio. He's very low. We find him to be a very good manager of time.
Well, that sounds like a magic experience, though, to have someone like that on your side and to make these albums and to be together for so long and choose to continue to hit the road and do all of this together is really, really admirable and huge. And everybody obviously sees that. You've got your sold out show, many sold out shows ahead of you, which is very exciting. Well, before I let you both go, is there anything else you want our listeners to know about this upcoming record, about shows, or just in general, anything that's coming up? Or just, advice.
Advice. Don't ask us for advice.
Talk about vulnerable questions.
I'm sorry.
No. That's a good one. I can't really.
No. Advice. Could give, any musical recommendations or something.
Music recommendation?
Or
take naps without guilt. How's that?
Naps without guilt.
I like that.
You know what I mean? You deserve a nap.
Yeah.
You don't have to work all the time.
That's awesome.
Or think. Yeah.
Yeah. This is true. And this is something that's ingrained in our culture. So, okay. Take naps without guilt. You heard it from the Pixies. And I think, actually, we're going to have David also join us, right? Because David has been bringing some joy to listeners with his other skill as a scientific phenomenalism. Yeah, come on over.
Come on in, Dave.
Well, I didn't realize they were even back there.
Hi.
I'm going to go take my nap.
Thanks, Joey.
Hi.
Well, so you've been doing Magic Monthly.
Yeah.
And that's been like connecting with your fans in a next level way. And I was
wonderful.
You're nice enough to grace us with a magic trick, I heard.
Oh, great. I can't. Let me get a deck of cards. Hold
okay.
I'll watch. Maybe I haven't. I don't think I've seen this one.
You might be part of it. Who knows?
Let me think what I could do. I got Ayisha. I'll stand over here. Just touch one card. This one right here, I'll say. Okay, I'm going to show you the card. It's upside down.
Okay.
See the camera? Like that. Put it back on the deck. I'm going to shuffle up the deck. In fact, I'll shuffle it up even worse. So I'm going to shuffle them face up and face down, the biggest magician's nightmare there is. So bear with me right now. So, oh, gosh. Okay. Okay, right there. Okay. So right now, in this deck, let me show you. Cards are face up, they're face down, face up, face down, all over the place, even back to back, it doesn't matter. But if I just snap my fingers like this, hopefully now the deck just writes itself.
Wow.
With the exception, one card here in the middle. I hope that's your.
Oh my God, it is! Such a multi-talented group.
A lot of free time.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, David. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Charles.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thanks for the Pixies being here at The Current, The Night the Zombies Came, coming out sometime before Halloween.
The Current is public media made possible thanks to member support.